What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for Madden 19. I didn't want to do this video, but I've had so many people ask me. The E3 set list, if you will, leaked, and included that was EA's walkthrough, and in that was Madden 2019, and it goes over a few things, and if there's one thing you take from this video, take from it, there are so many things lacking in this game that I can't specifically tell the direction these improvements are headed in. So when you talk about Madden 19, new franchise mode trailer, well, what could that mean? A new mode in franchise? Maybe pulling long shot into franchise somehow? Does that mean they've blown CFM up and completely started from the ground up and put in a whole new franchise? I don't think that's the case, only because to kind of parlay to last year, we learned long shot was a 3-year process. Certainly if they had been working on franchise for the past many years, they would have told us, because so many people have grown tired of where franchise is. You think they would have been consistently trying to quell that by telling us, well, we're working on a whole new reboot for franchise. It's just a few years away. It's in our 3-year, it's in our 5-year plan, and I haven't heard any of that. So, new franchise mode trailer doesn't make a lot of sense, also from the standpoint that what can you really show in a franchise mode trailer that would generate interest, that would make people excited? I mean, you're going to show a draft, you're going to show a trade, you're going to show free agency. Those aren't things that have a high visual appeal like, say, gameplay does. Now, secondarily, improved quarterback arm animation. And this is where we talk about, there's so many things missing in Madden, you don't know where to go. Does this mean that quarterbacks now have their own throwing motions? Because we've wanted that for a long time. We all know the ball has a tendency to leave before or after it should. The ball just kind of flails out of the quarterback's arm and sails. Does this mean that now you could, as a defender, impact the quarterback's throwing motion, maybe a strip sack, things, again, that have been missing from Madden that we've wanted in the game for a very long time? And then new punter interface. This is the most interesting one of the group to think about, because I can't think of a football game that had a different mechanic for kicking as to punting. Usually, kicking in the game, whichever one you're doing, from kicking a field goal to punting the ball, uses the same mechanics. EA had just went through and redone the kicking mechanics the past few years. Really, the past 2 years, they've worked on refining where it is now. And it's interesting that they would push a new punter interface that somehow wouldn't impact the kicking interface. So the kicking interface we had the last 2 years carried over to the punting. But now we're going to have a punting interface that doesn't interact with the kicking? That doesn't make any sense. A lot of this doesn't make sense. So part of me wonders if this just isn't things that have been put on a list, intentionally leaked, to generate the conversation you or I are having, to make you anxious to know how in the world they could lead with a punter interface, tune in to watch at E3, or go to E3 if you have your media credentials, and then be overwhelmed by whatever else they show us. But that's the problem. At the end of the day, I am to the point with EA Sports and Madden that I've been sold a bill of goods so many times that I'm hesitant to believe anything that I see until it's in my hand. I literally could be shown the greatest gameplay in the world, but until I play it for 2 to 3 hours and it holds that test of time, because we all know the experience. You get Madden out of the box, you play it for a little bit, everything seems better, and then 4 to 5 games in, you start to see all these little nuances creep back up on you, and you remember why you stopped playing Madden in the first place. I need to get away from that moment. And until we get away from that moment, you can rebuild, you can improve, you can add a new interface onto anything that you want. And it's, to me, not going to impact the core community that purchases your game, because for many of us, we really do feel like we're getting the same repetitive product year in and year out, and that is what needs to change. And a new franchise mode trailer, quarterback arm animations, and a punting interface is not going to be anywhere close to the gameplay improvements I need to see to make me satisfied with the direction of this game. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. I'll be back later on tonight with more commentary.